Hello, 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 hello. How are you doing, Trev?
Doing great. How are you, Kathy?
I'm doing good, and welcome to everybody that's watching the show right now. We truly appreciate you guys being here. We are going to be doing reactions to paranormal videos again, which is kind of fun. I love doing this. It's like, is it real?
Yeah,
Is
it's
it fake?
it's kind of a challenge when we're trying to, at least for me, when I was trying to go through and pick videos because I wanted to not watch them because I kind of wanted to give a
Right.
real
You want the
reaction. So
reaction to be like then, right?
yeah, so I have to kind of apply because I mean I'm really not sure what's all in these. So hopefully it's paranormal or something like it. It's,
Hopefully
it's gonna be
it's paranormal and not something else that starts with a P. We'll see.
right. Yeah, we want. Yeah, that might drive up the ratings for the show. I don't know, but
Right? That could be interesting.
oh my
I know
goodness.
there is some that I was trying not to watch them. But you have to kind of, right? Like
Yeah,
yeah.
you kind of have to scroll through some of them, and so and I watched watched through a few of mine just to make sure that they were going to be
Mm,
something watchable. I haven't seen any of the ones that you chose, so
yeah.
I got that going for me, I guess. So
They
yeah.
what was I gonna say? I know I was gonna tell you something, and you think I can remember what the hell was I talking? Oh, when I was on because I ended up on TikTok kind of looking for some of them, and I
Hmm.
ended up on a haunted doll like spiral, which was kind of interesting.
Haunted
This one,
dolls. I thought those are creepy.
I don't know. Like, I mean, we've had dolls that move, but I don't think it was the dolls that it wasn't the dolls that were haunted because they were Barbie dolls, right? We
Hmm.
think it was something that was moving them. But
Right.
I don't understand why somebody would get excited about having a doll that's haunted in their house. Like that's the last thing I excuse my language, but I don't fucking want that in my house. Like I got enough shit in my own life.
There's a, there's a, there's a running joke that I've got in I wasn't the original creator. I couldn't tell you, but and I always love using it because it's they talk about the elf on the shelf.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna do doll in the hall. So it's I love that. And I was on a public auction site that we have over here, and I actually came across a box of old porcelain dolls.
Oh,
And
oh yeah, yeah.
just for fun, I bid on it, the opening bid, $5, and I won it. So in my garage, I actually have a box of maybe haunted dolls. I'm not sure. So
Oh, maybe haunted. Well, we should test them out and
yeah,
take out one a night and put a EV like
there we go.
put a tape recorder in front of it and see what happens. You can have a
Hmm.
whole week or two of like fun and excitement in the garage.
Oh my goodness, it was pretty funny. So yeah, $5 well spent. So
Right? This one lady, I found her on TikTok. She had bought a doll and it was just the ugliest looking thing. Like the little face was kind of cute, but then it was like a kind of a cotton sort of looking body with just the hands and the feet that were like porcelain or whatever, and the rest of it was like, the stuffed kind of
hmm.
doll. And I guess it smelled really bad, but it had stitches down its back too. Like it had stitches down the back of it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember her name because that way, people can actually just go look her up. Let me just. I know I googled her. Oops, hang on. I googled her. I mean, not googled her. Searched her on TikTok, so I'm sure that the search is still on
Hmm.
there. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Soul Mori. So for people that are interested, in taking a look at some of her stuff, her name is Soul Mori on TikTok. But when she sliced the back of the doll open, there was a vial of some sort of liquid. Oh, that was the other thing. It was leaking. Like the doll was leaking some sort of liquid. And I guess it smelled really bad. And it turned out that there was a vial full of teeth, like a vial with liquid and teeth inside of it.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah. So, people are whacked.
Yeah, there's some interesting things out there for sure. Hmm.
Like what else can you say? Like, I mean, that's just crazy crap,
Well, and
right?
there's people that are just, I don't know, it's funny because there's so many people that just want something haunted because it's kind of like mainstream. and
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
it's a discussion piece. And I was scrolling around Etsy, and you guys have Etsy. I know because
Mhm.
our other host Peter, he has his own Etsy store. So
Oh yeah.
uh, um, I was looking for just paranormal stuff, and I came across a shop that was selling haunted dolls, haunted porcelain dolls, and each of the dolls had a little story behind it, and they were sold for like 12 to 1,500 bucks. I'm like, what? Really?
I
So it
have
was
dolls in the basement. I swear I'm gonna like stick them on fucking
there you go.
because
You may as well
you
sell them.
know, I'm sure that they will move or something. I don't know. How do you authenticate that? Like that's the thing. How do you authenticate
That's
like,
it. That's just it. So,
you
I
know?
mean, you can make up a story about anything, and it's like, oh yeah, this doll did this, and yeah, it was in this whatever, and
Yeah,
just people trying to scam other people. So don't buy them.
exactly.
It's
12 or
just silly. Save your
1,500
money.
bucks a doll, like
Not
so what every
crazy.
couple of days, why not, right? Like easy
I
street.
guess if you, I
So
guess if you just got throwaway money, there you go. So
right? Crazy. Well, it's actually funny because, like you said, there are people that definitely seem that they want to be haunted or that
mhm.
they thrive on this. And there's some things like, there's always those posts on Facebook. Would you sleep in a haunted house for, $10 million? Well, honey, I would sleep in the garbage can for $10 million. So, I mean, like what you're asking me is kind of stupid. Like, I
I,
mean,
I
I
already
I
do it
I
for
would
free.
sleep in like, for 10 million bucks, there's not a lot I probably wouldn't do. Like just some like within dignity. You know what
Really?
I
Oh, okay, never mind. I was starting to
mean?
brainstorm.
Yeah. No. But you're kind of like you're looking at this and you're going like, well, like why are you people like wanting to be? I mean, I think the paranormal world and doing what we do is absolutely fascinating for sure.
Mhm,
But there's also this world. So live in this world a little
mhm.
bit,
Yep, for
because
sure.
you're going to have eons and centuries and millennials, millennium and millennium to live in the other world. So why
Mhm.
not just kind of, in the little short amount of time that we have here, live here for right now. You know what I mean?
Live your
And
life.
yeah,
Yep.
and kind of enjoy it rather than, looking for bloody haunted. And here's the thing. If you were a ghost, why the hell would you want to live in a doll? Like,
I don't know.
wouldn't you rather find something else that you could like live in or just maybe go roam? Because a doll, like you're sort of at the mercy of whoever owns you.
Yeah.
So, if you can go into a doll, couldn't you go into something else? Like, if you're allowed, if you can go into an inanimate object, let's just say, could you not go in a car and like travel wherever you want?
Well, they did that in Christine.
Right? Right?
Yeah. There
Made
you
a
go.
whole movie out of that one, made a few
Yep.
$1 million off of that whole scenario. Like,
Well,
go do
and that's just it, and that's the big question. Like, I wonder if if something's actually, inside the doll or just manipulating it. Whereas it's like
right,
for me,
right.
if it was something I was doing, I'd just be doing it to mess with people, just for fun because that's just kind of who I am.
Just for something to do
Try to
for
get a
that
rise
kick.
out of you.
Yeah.
But the yeah, I, yeah, to me that whole concept is kind of strange. That something would want to
Yeah.
possess an inanimate object like that,
Like,
something
there's
that
so
has no
many other
sensation.
inanimate objects that I would rather be in than a doll sitting
Hmm.
on somebody's shelf doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, an airplane, a boat, a
Hmm.
submarine. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? You could go on all
Yeah.
kinds of adventures, like if that was the case, right? I'm just
Yep.
throwing that out there. Find something else
Yeah.
than
Weird
rather than
stuff.
a doll. Right? So, um, but like we were saying, talking about, people that are, maybe wanting to be haunted, or maybe they just attract the haunted. The first clip I'm gonna show, it's a little longer. We'll kind of have to stop a little bit so that we don't get tagged in any copyright nonsense or whatever, but we'll kind of play it and then stop it and play it and stop it a little bit. But this is kind of interesting because this is a family. I found this one on TikTok, and I thought it was pretty cool at the fact that this family seems to really sort of go through a lot. Like it's a mom and the son especially. So let's play that one and see what you guys think. And you guys, if you're in the chat, like definitely give us your thoughts too, because it's not just Trevor and I's thoughts. We want yours as well. So let's see here. Okay, I just got to figure out which one it is. Hang on a second. All right, I think this is it. Sorry, just to give me a minute here.
I love that you have to take your glasses off to see.
I know. I have to take my glasses off to see close up. Isn't that funny? I'm the opposite of most old people, I guess. I don't know. Hang on a second. I just got to figure out which one this is. Sorry, just a sec. I want to make sure that I'm posting the right one here. So, okay. Well, we're gonna try it. So, I think this is it right here. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. All right. Here we are. Ready? So I don't know if you saw that. Did you? Here.
Oh.
You see that one?
Mm-hmm.
You saw how it flew there? Okay.
Yeah, so the walk. So we're looking at the walker that kind of got pushed over,
right,
scooted over
right.
inside there. Huh.
Okay. How do I get back in there now? Hang on a second. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to show it one more time, and then we'll watch the rest of the reaction from the mom. And watch the mom. So she comes in.
Go away! Go away! What do you want to do? No! Go away! No more! Go away! Go away! I will kill you! Go away! Leave us alone! Leave us alone! Leave us alone! Zena! You're not scared!
So this is something that they obviously must be dealing with on a fairly regular basis, that you would think, like, to like for all of them to kind of have that reaction, especially the boy. I feel like the boy actually had a true reaction. I don't know. What do you think?
I agree. That seemed like a genuine reaction to me as well. I mean, that level of activity is pretty rare, but definitely. And the other part about it too is this appears to be a South American family. Kind of it's from what I picked up from the accent there. And from my time living in South America, I can tell you that they are very spiritual people. And
Right, yeah.
And I don't think this would be something a woman of her age would be trying to hoax. They believe that's really bad juju. They
Right.
stay away from that stuff. That's actually pretty
And
interesting.
getting her kid to participate in it too. I don't see too many mothers actually doing that.
No.
Maybe here in Canada or America, because, well, but
That's it.
we see
Everybody
them
wants
participating in worse. So
right. Everybody wants that 15 minutes of fame and stuff, but this is because one, it's not somebody. So there's not a person that's holding a camera. This is a security camera of some sort. A Nest
it does. It
cam
looks
or
like one.
Google cam
So
or
I'm going to
something
show.
like that.
This is actually kind of. So we'll go into the next one because there's this whole, like, a few of their
This
things.
is the same family, right?
Same family, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mom, what is this? Huh? What is this? Mom, nothing, Yakub.
Watch this.
What, Yakub?
See, the way she yells at him, the way she gets upset with the boy, like, not upset with him, but she's like, okay, calm down. You know what I mean? Like, that's a genuine mom type of reaction. But just watch here.
There is no one, Yakub. Oh my God.
That I don't know what to do with.
Yeah, that one.
I don't know why she would take the blanket and throw it on it, because that's not a normal so that's where I'm a little bit like, because I don't
The
know
only
if
thing
I
I
would
could think of is she
even,
said there's nobody there, and I thought maybe she was throwing it to show that there was nothing there. But
right.
that
But then all of a
was
sudden,
yeah. And it's so hard because, like, again, I mean, unless the kid's just a really good actor, I
yeah.
mean, it
Well,
looks.
both of them, because the way she's saying at him, like, okay, you don't need to scream, pretty much. Like, she's telling him,
Mhm.
like, calm
Calm
down. You don't
down.
need to scream like that. That's real reaction.
Right.
That's total mom,
And that's actually what I would try to tell people too, is like, if even if something's trying to scare you,
Yeah.
pretend to not be scared.
Yeah.
Don't
Like, you don't
don't
need to
don't give
react
it
like
what it
so
wants. You need
hysterical.
to just remain calm and be in
Yeah.
control and take control of the scene. The other part about that is interesting is the angle in which the box flies off the table. It's not coming towards the camera like you'll see somebody yanking something with a string like
Right.
that. It's actually going away from the camera where we can
Yeah.
see there's
I think
nothing
I'm gonna
back
watch
there.
that again. Just a sec. Hang
Yeah.
on. Let's watch that. Just watch that quickly again.
Jakuba,
That's another one. Okay. Yeah, you're right, because it does. It goes the other way.
Mom, what is this? Huh? What is this? Mom, nothing, Jakub. Mom! What, Jakub? What? There's so much. There is no one, Jakub.
Maybe they're not South
Oh
American.
my God.
What's that?
Maybe that's not South American. I'm still trying to figure out where they might be
Could be
from. It's hard
Mexican.
it could be hard to tell.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, that the whole towel thing, that's throwing me for a loop because I mean I've seen a lot of weird stuff. I mean I don't claim to have seen everything, but that one is really weird. Because
Well,
like
first
in
of all,
any
what
other
could create that? Let's say it was let's say it was a hoax, right? Let's just say it was a hoax. That's some pretty good camera tricking, like immediate
or
camera
and really
tricking.
good aim. Yeah.
Yeah,
So unless they did
and
multiple takes or something. So
yeah, and or it's something else. Not sure.
yeah. Well,
But
I mean, I was thinking, if it even if like there was maybe a string tied back there or something that would have caught that towel, it doesn't make sense the way that it's hanging. And then it moves back towards the lady, the mom and the little boy there. It's kind of
yeah,
weird.
it is. It's really like the whole, like, you kind of think, you start to feel really sorry for this family. Like, this poor kid is going through a lot of trauma here. But then I'll show you this one too, because it's the same family again. Just let me get over there. Okay, hang on a second.
Jakub, I said you need to finish your game now. It was already 1 hour. You just playing.
10 minutes, 10 minutes.
No, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Morning you are going to school. I said no, 5 minutes. And you will off the game? No.
You know what the part I like on this is, you'll see him talking. The only reason I'm really pausing it is simply because, copyright and the whole bit, right? But you're going to see this kid. He's obviously talking to somebody on his computer. So, like, a gamer, that will
Mhm.
have those
Yeah.
conversations or whatever. So
I said 10
watch it.
minutes.
My mom almost like, oh, man.
Like that. Like, holy crap.
Hmm.
What is your
Oh, yeah. Right.
So that last one, that one, if I was seeing only that video for the first time, I would almost say that would be easier to prove or to disprove, because of the reflection, because you
Right.
could clearly see the reflection of everybody that was in there, right? So we're not
Yeah.
looking outside; we're seeing what's in the room,
Right.
pointing back towards the camera, and that could have easily been somebody standing beneath the camera, just out of range, standing
Yeah.
up, and
Especially
stuff
where
like
the
that.
angle is, because it's not showing the floor,
Hmm.
anything below that, right? So
Yep. Yep.
definitely that could be, something different.
Yep. And I was trying to figure out where the sound came from because he instantly ran.
Oh, crap. Where the what came from?
The sound, the way he reacted, I thought the sound may have come from the door, but he ran right away from the door.
Oh, like where here? Let's see.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out where it came from. So he looked over to his left. Okay.
Oh shit. Okay. So
That's one way to get somebody off of video games, I guess.
right? Like, whoa, that's pretty crazy. So yeah, I mean, those earphones flying off like that either takes like somebody trying that a few hundred times, to get it right. Um, I'm
Well,
sure
and the other part about that too is like you've got objects moving different directions in the same room now.
yeah,
And and without being there, without seeing the house and all the things set up, and it's so hard when we were looking at that one little moment in time. I mean, it's even like somebody sends us that picture, it's like, oh, this is the ghost. You want to believe people are posting things that are actually happening to them, but we still got to take it with a grain of salt because yeah, and like I said, that level of activity is super rare.
it is.
That-
I think the part that impresses me too is the fact that the kid actually goes back into the room, because I remember, we lived in a house that was very, very active, and
Mhm.
my kids and I, we pretty much went from room to room to room to room together. Like there was no
Yeah.
separating, even they
Mhm.
were a little bit, different in ages, I guess, to some degree. Well, not really. I mean, my daughter would have been about the age of that boy at the time, and my other daughter would have been just a few years younger. But even with my son, well, no, actually, he was pretty comfortable with the activity, in the
Mhm.
different activity. But like it does impress me at the fact that this kid is going back into the room and seems to be kind of okay with it, because I
Well, that's where his video games are. Nothing's going to keep him from the video games. I guarantee it.
right.
So.
That this is very true. So
But
this
yeah,
is
I agree. Yeah, I mean, I've had families that one thing will happen and they've all got to sleep in the same room together. They can't go. Yeah,
yeah,
they're terrified.
yeah.
So and I don't know, maybe like I said, culturally speaking, that like I said, they're very spiritual, and maybe mom's got some way of helping calm things down, and things just get out of hand
Mhm.
every once in a while, and I don't know. So I'd
We
love to
don't, and
investigate.
that's the thing too, is we don't know what the period of time is with all of that either, right? Like
Correct.
that could have been over a span of a year. It could have been,
Yep.
although the baby stays consistently pretty small, but I mean it in a couple of those videos. But again, it could have been taken over a matter of a few months, weeks,
Mhm.
whatever.
Well, and
You
we
know,
do see activity that has spikes. Like you'll get a whole slew of things
yeah,
that happen all at once, and then everything will calm down. And then
yeah,
for whatever reason, it'll spike again. We do see a lot of that.
that's
So,
true.
but yeah, those are pretty interesting. I mean, again, when you get kids like that can react like that and react consistently like that, it's pretty interesting. So,
Yeah, and there's no, that's the thing, is that I found, like, with his the way he did react to it, it not only was consistent, like you said, it was very like there. I don't know. We used to invest when we did investigation, and we would investigate a lot of children, not children, but the homes with the children in
right.
them.
Hmm.
And kids, they can, I think kids obviously can lie, right? We've definitely
Hmm.
caught them in lie, but they always have a tell. There's always
Right.
you know what I mean? Like there's a hesitation in their voice, or a hesitation in the screaming, or the screaming turns into like a fake type of sound, or you know what I mean? They don't have usually that ability for long lasting
Right.
acting, right? And
Well,
one of
this
the
and
things that, well, one of the things we used to do is, like, we used to say to them, "What happened again? What happened again? 5
Right.
minutes later, how do was it was blue, right? And they'd be like, and you're like, oh, but I thought it was pink.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
and
you can
so
usually catch them.
you can usually
So,
catch them. And you don't see that with this boy, and I found that really interesting.
well, the other part, like when the headphones come flying off his head, there was a delay in the reaction, so he wasn't anticipating anything.
Right. Yeah.
Which because you would think it's like, okay, well, this is what we're gonna do. We'll pull the headphones off, and the headphone comes off, you scream. Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, again, unless
No, his
he's well
brain was trying
trained,
to calculate what the hell just
yeah,
happened.
the headphones came off, and he's like, "What the heck?" And then he realized it, and holy
Yeah.
crap! So that was
Yeah.
very, yeah. I'm hesitant to say that's faked. I'm, but again, it's like,
Yeah.
without really being there and being able to investigate, I really would love to investigate something like that. It'd be pretty interesting. But that level of activity would be pretty unprecedented, at least from what I've seen. So I've heard of people being pushed downstairs, and seen things slide across the floor and across the countertop, and but that level of activity is pretty crazy.
I think that was pretty crazy too. Like, who knows what the heck was going on there? But I don't know. I think there was some truth behind it. Like I'm not I wouldn't call that video complete bullshit. That's for sure.
No,
Like
no,
I
not at
really,
all.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
you
felt the
post
reaction was authentic.
what's that?
I felt the reactions were authentic. So,
Oh, I
I
did
mean,
too.
the
Absolutely.
towel part, I'm still kind of scratching my head over. That was the weirdest thing in those videos by far.
Yeah.
That was strange.
Yeah. I would have liked to have seen more of that, like the
Hmm.
after of that, like even if it had gone an extra like maybe 10 seconds.
Right.
Right,
Right.
because then you're gonna get more authenticity from it, like, so did this thing, like, run down, like, jump off the couch and run out the house, or did it just disappear, or did the
Yeah.
towel just, like, end
Well,
up
and
on
that's the
the
weird thing because
ground, or
spirits don't have physical mass. There's not.
right,
That's the part that's throwing me. Like it's kind of believed that they can direct energy and they can manipulate something and they can move it. They can, slam a
right,
door, things
unless
like
it's
that. But
more
they aren't.
elemental, that's the only other thing, especially wherever, like, it's hard to say exactly what country they're from, but there is a lot of
Right.
countries that have more elemental, activity,
Hmm.
depending on where they are, right? South
Yeah.
America definitely
So
has a lot of as elemental type,
very, yeah.
Mexico.
And elementals is definitely not something I'm brushed up on. Um, you know,
Mm.
and maybe that might make more sense because like when we're looking at just from the spiritual aspect of it, I mean that would take. I just feel like that would take a lot of talent or tremendous amount of energy on that. And there's always the possibility too that it might be something more malevolent. I mean, it could be something more demonic. Although this is more, it doesn't
Yeah.
seem as physical.
Oh, I think you're stunned.
It just seems
Whoops.
more like mental and directly to them. So, but just things that are happening around them. So
Yeah, it's
it's
really
pretty
interesting.
interesting.
I'm gonna play yours. This is the one that you sent,
Yeah,
in
I have no idea
regards.
what it has more kids in it though.
Okay, well, I guess we'll find out. We'll see what happens here. Give me a second. I'm just gonna pull it up. Um,
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Here we go. We will find out.
So we're gonna watch. When I saw it's the little one that
Oh, is it the little
something
one?
happened to
Okay.
her.
What you
Yeah.
doing?
I think she fell.
So that was
What do
just
you
it. It was kind of a weird thing. Her arms fell back, but if you go back, what was weird about it was she looks immediately behind her
Does she?
after she
Okay, I'm
falls.
gonna pull it
Yeah,
up again. Just one second.
go back again.
What you doing?
But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh yeah,
looking
yeah,
around like
okay.
what the heck just happened?
Like, like What the hell just happened? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, it was hard to tell, and I can see why the mom thought something pulled her, because I mean, she was moving one way, and then all of a sudden she just kind of
Yeah. She
went
kind
the
of
opposite,
flails and
and
goes
it
back
went,
the
and
other
she
way.
went quick. So yeah,
That
either yeah, she
definitely
had
could
some
have
weird.
some, truth behind it there for sure. I get a kick out of this one right here. You can see
Mhm.
this little face here already. Um, I have a story, but just a sec. Hang on, I'll play this one. That'd be interesting.
Oh no. No, 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 silly. To dry it. No, no, no.
I don't know why people put these horrible, like,
Sounds well, because it's more fun that way, I guess. I
I
don't know.
guess,
So the
right?
Cabbage Patch one was kind of weird because yeah, if you ever seen Cabbage Patch Kids, I don't think I've ever seen a frowny one, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But it exploded, and they were both found dead. She must.
This is interesting. So I just watched this one. And you can really see somebody,
Oh yeah.
right?
Did you see it? Something was in the closet, right? Let's look at that part again.
Let's see. Carol can see it now. Okay. Carol, switch. I know.
Okay, that's a little freaky. I'm not gonna lie.
So I've actually seen things like that. You know, that I mean, now it unfortunately that one would be relatively easy to hoax because it's really dark back there. You put somebody in dark clothes with the white coveralls or something like that. You can kind of make it look like there's a ghost back there, but the way that it moves, because it kind of comes in and all of a sudden it just goes back.
Right.
You didn't see anything turn around, just kind of comes in, goes back.
Yeah.
But I've actually seen things like that on investigations that were
Right.
apparitions. I mean,
Yeah.
that's I think that's believable to me.
Well, the thing is too is that when you look at the girl, you can tell that she sees something, but she's not like, the thing is she also comes out of this massive spin. So I'm sure that in her head, she's trying to calculate exactly what's going on
Right.
too, right? Because if you've ever spun, like kids, like they spun around and around, right? Like, you get that little effect afterwards.
Yeah.
So I think she was looking at it kind of like, what in the heck just
I have to ask my wife because my wife used to do a lot of figure skating, and she'd do her spins, and they have to train themselves to not be dizzy after the spin, and it has something to do with the way they're turning their head or something like that. But yeah, that was the other thing. Clearly, she saw this thing out of the corner of her eye, and she's like, "Wait, what?" So
she doesn't overly react, like there's no screaming or yelling or anything like that. It's more of a the heck?
What the heck? But that's almost to me a more genuine reaction.
Exactly, right?
Because I mean, the first time I ever saw an apparition, I didn't scream, I didn't jump. I was like, "What the heck am I seeing?" It was just kind of that. What is that? It wasn't.
What am I looking at? Like, what just happened? Right?
Yeah, let's watch that one more time.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta pull it up. Hang on a second. I might have closed it already. Hang on a second. Which I think I might have. Hang on a second. Let me just grab it again. Just give me a second, Trev. I'll just pull it up through. I just got to grab the link again. Hang on.
My dog's in here.
Oh, is he? Okay, that's not it. This is the link here. Is this it? Yeah. Okay. Hang on a second. Okay. Let me go back and okay, I just have to I'm just gonna pull it forward a bit. Can you see it okay?
Yeah. Yeah, bring that up in there. We go. I got my light on, so I have to squint because I'm looking at that dark background.
This is actually, oh long one. I didn't realize it was so long. Okay, hang on.
No, switch channel. No, no, switch channel. No. No.
Did you see it?
Well, see,
Something
yeah,
was in
and
the
it's
closet,
also the
right?
weird part too is like I
Let's
want
look
to
at
know.
that part
I
again.
really want to know what's through that doorway because it almost looks like it's going down, like it's getting
Yeah,
it
like
kinda-
it's going downstairs or something.
yeah, that's almost what it looked like because it like it. But again, that's really consistent with things that I've seen. They don't move like fade away. They just kind of like disappear in weird ways sometimes.
Yeah.
See, because she didn't come up. It didn't come up. It comes straight out, and now all of a sudden it's going back.
My
Didn't turn
daughter
around.
was pulled back by something
Right.
or someone.
That to me is just is the weirdest part about that is like you see it come out, it didn't raise up, it didn't like come up the stairs, and it's there, and all of a sudden just goes back, but it
Mhm.
didn't. To me, it didn't look. I didn't see anything that looked like it turned around to walk back. It was just walking forward, walking back. But as it's going back, then you see it going down, like or shrinking almost, like it was
Right.
going down the stairs.
It really looked
So
like a woman with like an apron, hey, or
that's
like her
exactly what I
hands
thought
like
too.
this with a towel
Yep,
down or something, like
yep,
an old maid, like
yep.
back in the olden days, that maid type of, or handmaiden or something like that, like somebody with a towel or something that draped over their arms. That's
Yeah,
what it looked like to me. I don't
I
know.
think so too. That was my thoughts exactly. It looked like a maid.
Yeah,
So
that's really
black dress,
interesting.
white apron.
This one here, this is sort of interesting. So this is an interesting one that I'm gonna play. And at first I was like, what the heck is going on? I'm not sure about it, but that's why we're here, right? Get a different
What we
opinion.
want.
So
I want to see what's going on.
yeah, let's see what's happening. What's happening? Hang on.
I love technology. It's so
Yeah.
easy to use. You finding it? What happened to
Yeah,
it?
you'll see it in a second. Hang on.
Oh,
It
okay.
shows it in just a sec.
Yep. Yes, people remember when you're watching all these videos and stuff, everything you got to just take with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not everything people post is going to be legitimate. So some of them are really obvious and some of them aren't so obvious, but yeah,
You see it?
I don't see anything.
Yeah, if you look on that white building.
No, I'm like, the video isn't up. It's just you and me
Oh,
on
you're
the
not
screen.
seeing the video?
Nope. That's what I
Oh.
was waiting for. I was like, I'm not even seeing the video.
Oh, yeah, I'm sitting here watching this stupid video, and I thought you could see it the whole time. Hang on a second. Okay, just a sec. That's funny. Okay, hang on. Here I'm sitting here watching it the whole time, and I'm thinking I'm showing it to you guys. Okay.
That's why I was just kind of sitting here in awkward silence. I was like, is it coming up? What's going on?
Okay, can you see it now?
Yes. Now it's up. All right, here we
Yeah.
go.
Okay, you can see the video itself. Okay,
I
hang
can
on.
see the video itself now.
Can you see it now?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So it looks
Okay,
like a
here we
dog.
go.
His dog and his daughter out for a walk late at night, and while recording them, captures something disturbing on camera. Mark Rosbach, the father who submitted the video, writes, I was filming my daughter and dog playing, but then all of a sudden, my daughter sees something in between the buildings that were across from us. This is the footage that was caught.
This looks like a light.
Like
Oh, is
something
it a
creeping,
shadow?
like something creeping across the building there. You can kind of see it.
Oh, yeah. What the heck?
In the distance, there appears to be someone or something floating above ground. It goes without saying, but Mark was left terrified when he saw this. Now, it wasn't until rewatching the footage a few days later that he spotted the mysterious figure. Immediately after seeing it, he thought he had captured a Kovitoke, which is a mythic ghost-like entity that is said to roam all over Greenland. Whatever it was, Mark had been left unsettled by it, as well as others who've seen the footage, as it looks like a corpse that's floating in midair. But of course,
I don't know how they can tell
it
that.
could be something else. I'll let you come up with your own opinion. Ghost or not?
What's that?
Feel free to let me know what you think.
Well, I'm trying to figure out. People say it looks like a corpse floating across the building. I mean, to me, the screen's really small, so I can't tell. But
Right.
It didn't look like a corpse to me. Obviously there are no lights
It
on. I
more
was
looked like
thinking,
a great big giant, like bug. To be honest, I thought it looked more like a huge spider or octopus or something like that. Quite
my other thought is like, if there's power lines over there, it could have been, something on the power lines that,
Yeah.
they have different things that hang
Yeah.
off of it. He's still moving when he's taking the video, so which can explain kind of the look of the movement.
Yeah.
Going across, because he's kind of panning to the right as he's walking. So I would think that would make something look like it was going right to left. But the other thing it could have been is potentially a drone. It's really difficult to say, but I mean, it's interesting that the daughter saw it. And again, we don't have a real clear picture of
Right.
how far away this building actually is from them.
Well, the
I'm
other
curious.
thing is too, is I don't know about her reaction, to be honest. Like it's just
Well,
a
she just
point.
stops and points immediately. She just kind of stops and points, like, "Whoa, what's like?"
Yeah,
Look
but
at that.
doesn't really say anything. It's kind of like I'm expecting you to know what I'm talking about by pointing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not like
Yeah.
the distance, like I don't know how to explain that, but usually somebody like even a little one would say, "Look, look, mommy,
What's
what's that?"
that?
Or
Yeah.
yeah, or like there's no dialogue whatsoever. And that makes me a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, maybe that's just the way the child communicates. Don't know, but but then he says he doesn't find it for a couple of days. Well,
You didn't see it.
it
Notice.
doesn't make a
Figure it
lot of
out.
sense either because wouldn't you like the daughter's pointing and you're communicating on some way with like, so what, she's just pointing at random nothing and you don't see it for a couple of, like, it doesn't make, to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, you know what I mean? Because when
Well,
you
and
go
that's the
home
thing.
and take a look at it right away.
I would. I mean, because
Yeah.
if I didn't see it right away, I'm
Yeah.
watching my daughter and she's just pointing at something,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of looking in the direction she's pointing and see. I'm like, well, what are you pointing at?
Yeah.
And then
Like,
I would expect an answer, and then I'd be like, oh, well, let's look at the phone. I'd look
Yeah.
at it right there and go back and zoom in, trying to figure it out. So
yeah. And that's why I'm more hesitant in regards to this one because it just doesn't seem, I don't know. It just doesn't seem true to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just the reaction is so, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I mean, here, I guess maybe it's because you and I both have kids that we do look at things like that. Like if you were younger with no kids, you might look at that as a normal reaction, maybe to some degree, or
I mean,
but
if somebody was like
react.
scared, speechless, maybe like, I don't know,
Yeah.
or maybe it was so blatantly
But if
obvious
it
to
was,
her.
then you would go and look at it, right? And you would be like, well,
Yeah.
what? Like, what were you
Well, that's just
seeing?
it. I would have,
Explain it.
even if it was something I did see,
Yeah.
I would still go right back to that video and watch it over and over and over again, trying to convince myself that I actually saw it,
Well, especially if you're outside with it, because you'd be like, oh, what if this thing saw me?
Right.
Maybe I need to, hightail it somewhere, right?
The thing about it is a lot of times we wind up with like illusions, like optical illusions, and it's all about depth. because
Yeah.
camera lenses don't pick up depth. Everything is 2D. And so I've seen a lot of videos of like creatures in the forest and things like that. And all it
Yeah.
is something up close to the camera that's a little bit blurry.
Mhm.
And when the camera is moving really close, it looks like there's something in the distance in the bushes that's moving around. It looks really
Right.
weird. In this case, I still wondered about power lines. I've never been to Greenland. I don't know
Yeah.
how their power. I know around here though they've got different things that are on the power lines that are thicker,
Yeah.
little transistors or
Yeah.
reducers or whatever, that would, against a lighted background, you would see that shadow. And if those power lines are closer and he's moving that, direction and panning,
Yeah.
you can totally see it looks like something moving across
Quite
the
honestly,
building.
that really could have been a kite,
Could have been a kite.
you know,
Could have been.
or some sort of weather kite, or I mean,
It could have been a drone. So
exactly. We were driving downtown, not like the other day, like 2 or 3 days ago, and somebody had hung a parachute. You remember, in Harry Potter where Luna's shoes were hung up on the ceiling or hung over or something?
oh yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So we were driving, there was a pair of shoes hung up over the power lines. I
Oh yeah.
mean, easily, but it was more the reaction that really had me skeptical than anything. Because again, if you know your kid, that's the thing. If you know your kid and your kid is pointing at something, you're gonna be like, oh, like what? What's
What are you
going on?
pointing
What's
at?
happening?
Mhm.
What's what? Like what's going on?
Well, especially when
So
there's so many things that they could be pointing at, you're just pointing off into a general direction. I'd be like,
yeah.
what are you looking
Like,
at?
oh, I'm
It's
just
something
gonna go
that
point at the
small.
sky and have you
Yeah.
guess at
Again,
what I'm
not
looking at.
knowing how far away that actually is. I mean,
Yeah.
I really had to squint to see it,
Yeah.
and I'm looking for something. So I don't know.
Like
Yeah,
you'd
that
think
one.
it would be like, look on that building. Some like
Hmm.
vocal language.
Right.
Even if he can't speak, again, that like we said, the father would go back. Like you as a father, you would go back. You would be like, okay, I
Hmm.
wonder what my kid saw. Because she obviously was doing something. She was pointing at something. We don't know what it is. It is what it is, right? Like, I don't know. It just
Well,
seems
and it seems like that thing came from the right to the left, and it was in the dark, and then it moved across the building. But I mean, she'd been pointing at it for a little while, as well. And so, and if it was dark against the night sky, I don't know how she would have seen it anyway.
yeah,
So,
exactly. Like I don't know. Something it just doesn't
yeah.
seem as real as
Mhm.
maybe the other ones that we watched, because that little
Yeah.
boy's reaction was definitely more,
Authentic,
realistic than
100%. Yeah.
yeah. So this
100%.
one here is interesting. This is a YouTube one. There's a few, so we're gonna have to kind of stop and go, and I won't play like the whole thing at once or whatever. But I know that the first story is in regards to how the camera will show somebody walking and then all of a sudden they disappear.
Hmm.
Oh, I guess make sure that I actually share the screen and not do the
Yeah.
same thing
Nice. You
as
got to
before.
share. You got to share, Kathy. You can't hold everything to yourselves.
Yeah, yeah. Try to be good at. Can you see it now?
Oh, yeah. I think I almost sent you this one too.
Okay. So yeah, this one here.
No, no, this was a little bit different. So,
And then he just disappeared. And apparently, after this was shot, I think it was either the person who took the video or somebody who thought that the video or the person in the video was a friend of theirs or a family member. Apparently, they died a few days
Blurry
later.
white figure can be seen moving from right to left before completely vanishing out of sight. Many agree that this is a chilling example of the paranormal, citing the figure's movement, blurriness, and sudden disappearance as both authentic and creepy. Some point out the possibility of it being edited.
so the problem
Yeah.
I've got with that is that a couple things. One, I've seen a bunch of videos like this. and you can prove pretty easy that it's not paranormal, simply because these cameras are designed to see, you got a wide shot, you're looking at a pretty, you're looking at a long distance, you don't,
Right.
and again, we don't know, you can see the cars, and this thing's well beyond the cars. Those cameras are only really designed to look like a few feet in front of them, like 10 feet in front of them. That's what they're focused on. And so, yes, anything outside that, especially with IR, is going to be blurry. IR is just bouncing off of other objects and is sending these light particles out that's bouncing on the off the objects and returning to the lens. That's what IR picks up. Yeah, I think it was a person. How they vanished at the very end, well, there's a couple things. I've never seen one just blink out just like that.
Right.
Usually you'll see those things walk and they'll just kind of fade out. And that's just because of the pixelation and the resolution of the camera. We could do it on my camera probably, and make something like that happen, especially at nighttime when everything is just, it's trying to pick up what it can pick up, and it just doesn't always work that way. And the way that the whole thing, you notice how the whole thing flashed, and then the thing like went right when it disappeared. Yeah, I think that there was some doctrine there. So
yeah, it really
I
looks
don't
like
know why we have to have these scary voices when we're talking about the paranormal. It's all for show. So
I
I think if I did this throughout our show, more people would tune in and watch.
And they always have the accent, right? Like they have that accent with the deep, scary voice.
Yeah,
Always.
yeah.
Always. I
We
can't
need to talk
remember
to Peter
exactly what
about
this one is about. So we're gonna kind of watch this sort of together, I think, for
Okay.
the most part.
And apparently is host to numerous spirits, both good and bad. During the 1930s, the hotel also became an experimental cancer hospital. Guests have heard the cries of a falling man in the ceiling and experienced doors opening, then slamming shut. Some of the ghosts are apparently friendly as well, with some reportedly playing tricks on guests and staff by moving their possessions and decorations around. The following is a clip of a member of staff speaking about one of the hauntings at the Crescent Hotel, and then what follows is truly creepy.
Okay, so this video I'm about to show you, it was from...
Just have to pause it for a minute so we don't get copyrighted
Yeah.
or something like that.
So I can tell you from right now, at this point, I'm kind of liking it, because this is more like
realistic.
I think, just this part right here, because I've experienced this too, like people talking about things that happen in a location that I'm investigating. They want to share something, and something happens.
And I think it's I think it's this woman that's going to be sharing whatever it is on her phone here that she caught at some point. So
from a guest who was staying here a couple of years ago, and she was at the bar talking to, oh my God, stage fright and everything. Bar talking to the bartender. They built up a rapport, and she was waiting to get checked into her room. There was two ladies. They went and got checked in. They were Snapchatting the room, and it wasn't in the Snapchat they saw the ghost. It was as it was replaying. And they took it up here in Judge Jay, and he was taken back. He even called the front desk to see how long they'd been checked in and to see if anybody else.
Okay, so I'm just going to pause it again. So I do remember this, and this is actually pretty freaky. I'm not going to lie. Like it was a little bit, it did take me back a little bit. And then when the bartender apparently, one of the things is the bartender apparently saw it too. Or not saw it, but was like, okay, there's something's going on, right?
They'd been checked in for like 20 minutes. And yeah, so it's a pretty good video.
Hotel in America, and my nightstand on the creepy door is my ice chest. So early bedtime, looking.
Just yet?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Okay.
Did you catch that? Something dressed in white quickly zooms past the camera, but what was it?
So that thing was going pretty darn fast. You got to admit that's going some speed there. That's not just I'm gonna saunter across. And going at that speed, there's absolutely no way that it's not going to make noise, or even, that's not a huge place. That thing's going to bang into something.
Redditors of the subreddit Unexplained have been
Yeah.
throughout
I mean, it
paranormal
looks like a little
research.
girl with
Take this
long
next
dark
clip.
hair,
What's that?
maybe wearing a night. It looked like a little girl wearing maybe like a nightgown, like a white nightgown with long dark hair, kind of
Exactly.
flowing in the
Yeah.
back as she's moving. So
And
that was
it's
interesting.
interesting too, is because it was very I mean, a lot of people do take those videos in their rooms. Like
Oh,
you
oh
get
yeah,
into a
yeah.
hotel and you
Especially if you go
start.
to a place that is notoriously haunted,
Yeah.
that's why you go.
Yeah.
That's one of
Yeah.
the big reasons why you go is you can get those videos. That's what you're looking for.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and if something had moved that close to her, I mean, looked like she might have been sitting on her bed. She was talking about the nightstand being, or she was standing
There
right.
would have
I
been
mean,
some
I'm trying to figure out
reaction.
the orientation of which way, because she was looking at the wall and the ghost went this way. So I'm not really sure where the wall of the bed was, and I'd be curious to know what was to the left of the screen. Um,
Does it
where that
not
might,
show that?
I'd have to look up if there's a way to insert
It's just
something like that, because usually there's a lot of apps out there that you can put ghosts into your films
right.
afterwards.
That's true too.
My eyes just so early bedtime looking for
Okay, and
Did
it's
you catch
again,
that?
so like
Something.
clearly I know that's not a person, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no way they're going to move that fast with that little space between the person holding the camera, the little ice chest, and the other thing that was right there too. So that was kind of interesting.
Exactly. Well, this is an interesting one too. It's very similar. I'll show you this one
Is
here.
caught on camera.
This is in a hospital.
It was caught on camera.
Now, why this person was recording in their hospital room, I have no idea. That's the only
Yeah,
thing that makes me suspicious.
well, the only thing I can think of is that something was going on, so they started recording.
Yeah, that very well could be.
Because I would, if that was, I would have
See
done
that?
the same. Yep.
Again, a small dark figure flashes past the camera. As the camera panned around before and after, showing it was empty, it seems that the figure both appeared and disappeared out of nowhere. So, what do you make of these captures, given that they are very similar? Are they paranormal? Share your thoughts in the comments.
Yeah, I thought that one was kind of interesting too, quite honestly. I was a little bit like, okay, what the heck is going on? You know what I mean?
What I like, yeah, what I like about seeing those two back together as well is like, and again, I'm going to do some research when we're done with this
Mhm.
show today because I am curious. But if it is some sort of program or an app, you had two things that were very, very similar, but they look completely different.
Yes,
They
and
look
different
they look
directions, different
completely different.
directions. Huh?
Yeah, well, not just a direction, but even the appearance of the figure in those. I mean, like you would
Yeah.
think an app is like, oh, show me a ghost running across the screen. You're going to get the same figure running
Right.
across the screen, probably the same direction. You had one that looked like a little girl, and you had another one that looked more like an adult size
Yeah.
thing wearing
Yeah.
brown. I don't know what it was wearing. It was kind of brownish, but very interesting. Very, very
Definitely
interesting.
bigger. It looked bigger, in
Mhm.
size. This is an interesting one too. I do have my thoughts on this one, but I did find this one to be, it's a little not quite longer, but you're not going to see it right until they show you. Like you'll see what I'm saying. So this family apparently is in the car, and they're doing whatever. Oh, they're in a car
In
wash.
the car
That's what
wash. Yeah, they're in the car wash.
right there. You see it?
Getting ready. Oh no, I missed it. I saw the little girl smiling.
You'll see it again in a sec.
Did you see it? When the camera pans to the back, a transparent figure of a child can be
Oh.
seen sitting.
Right there. So
Yeah.
the only thing that makes me suspicious is this reminds me of
It does look a little bit like that, yes.
Hello, Trevor.
Yeah, the grudge. Yeah.
You'll see
But that
it.
is interesting. So, I mean, it's definitely not anybody that's in the car, because if it was a person in the car, because of the lighting, we would see the reflection of the dome light
Right.
on the hair of that figure, just like
Yeah.
we see it on the child,
On the
right?
kid,
There's
yeah.
no lighting on this person. So either it was added after the fact, or yeah, I mean, it clearly blocks out the lines of the seat. Interesting.
It is like, I mean, you can, with obviously, Photoshop, you could insert, where the lines are, it's not totally translucent. It would be a
Right.
very, it'd be a fairly decent edit, because I do video editing, right? So, it wouldn't be that hard to put that in there. But I don't know. I'm a little bit I'm not really sure what to think about this one. I mean, to me, it does look like, the character from The Grudge, though.
Sitting on the supposed
It does look a lot
unoccupied
like
seat, staring menacingly at the family's son, who is completely unaware to whoever or whatever this is. And when the camera pans back, there's no transparent figure. At the time, even the father didn't see it, but when he reviewed the footage, he was understandably shocked by what.
Okay, so when you look at this, though, that's harder to fake. That's harder to Photoshop.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
There's no real pixelation around the edges. There's no straight lines that we can see.
Like, it's very well blended if it's real. If you look at it, like, even the way that it's in here, you can see that it's clearly a solid energy of some sort, right? Like, or at least for that moment, if that makes sense. Like, it's not solid, but you can definitely see it. I find
well,
that,
and it is, the other interesting part in even the videos that we saw before of the entity going across the screen, there was no reaction at all from the people that were filming, and that was the other weird part about it to me. The only thing that kind of throws it, because, like, if you're watching your screen while you're filming, you should see everything that the camera's seeing.
Right.
And I don't know a lot of people who don't look at their phone while they're filming. So to me, it would have been like something ran across my screen. I'd be like, wait, what was that?
Yeah.
But we didn't see any of that. So that's why I kind of scratched my head, and that one was
unless they were filming like this and just, like that. Like,
and possibly. But the person especially like the hospital bed, what else are you going to look at? So
this one, so because we're coming close to this, so I'll show you this one and see what you think. I found this kind of interesting too, just simply because, again, it's a little kid and there's
uploaded to TikTok back in 2021 by user Leanne1818. This clip has left viewers horrified. Seeing her son happily playing outside, she decides to record the moment to add to their collection of happy memories. But what happens next is something Leanne just can't explain.
Yay!
Okay. See, that fall is a lot more realistic to me. That's pretty. I'm going to give you a push.
Yeah, because you can see. I mean, you can see all the way around the little boy there, and the way he doubles over, like something just took him out at the waist.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
And I don't think that. I mean, even if, let's say, it was a person. Well, I mean, what kind of person would allow their kid to be shoved like that, like just for a video? Right. You have to be pretty.
Yeah, because you worry about somebody maybe in a green suit, and because there is people who do that. There are people who have the full green suits and they really get into faking these hoaxes. But that looks more real.
It does, like the way he. Oh yeah, see, look at that. Right, like that's an obvious push.
Yeah, I want to look at the shadows. Well, watch the shadows. Watch the shadows. So, because the boy's casting a shadow down. If there was somebody else even there, even a green, I don't know how they would edit out a shadow.
Yeah, you're
There's
right.
nothing.
There's no shadows. Yeah.
There's no shadow.
And that's definitely not that's not a trip. You know, that's
No, you
that
got
was a
pushed.
push. Yeah. And then
What's the reaction of the mom?
what's that?
Oh, that was his reaction. That's when
Yeah.
so he got back up and then didn't seem to phase him much. I'll just go back and throw some more
You know,
leaves.
kids though, they don't, right? Like a lot of times this is the same kid. So it's the same
Problems in the house do not end here, as when recording her son playing in the living room, she captures another creepy incident. Leanne's son's attention is suddenly drawn behind
I
him.
think that this, I think, quite honestly, I'm beginning to wonder if maybe the entity was like, could you just stop beating up on shit?
Maybe, yeah. So violent.
Disciplining this little brat, this little kid, he's a pretty violent little kid. But
kids aren't parenting. I'll take care of it myself. So
right, yeah. But
from now on, we're going to talk like this during the show, Kathy. We have to talk like this so that we are taken more seriously.
Like this, Trevor.
Yeah, because this is a paranormal show. And it's all very scary.
100%. I think from now on, that's going to be your new voice.
Perfect.
There you go. Good. Cool. Well,
right.
This was a fun show. I like this. I just want to thank everybody for watching.
Stuff.
What's that?
Yeah, we can watch hours and hours of this stuff. So.
Oh, right. Like you can end up down a spiral of paranormal. Who the hell knows what?
But everybody needs to watch him and try to pick them apart. Just don't take it just for face value. Pick them apart. Be skeptical. There's a lot of people out there that want to. It's all for entertainment, right? I mean, I don't blame it. It gets views. It's cool. So, but when you get the real stuff is just as or more exciting. So,
absolutely, right. So, thanks everybody. We will see you next week. Take care and catch you next time. Thanks for watching.